Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. We got so many announcements from Games Workshop over the past week. We have one of my favorite things, new book announcements, there's a new animation coming to Warhammer TV, and the Warhammer Skulls event is happening this week. All of that paired with a pretty stacked Saturday pre-order coming up means we have a lot to talk about it. So, I'm HoodGuard, and this is your Monday Warhammer wrap-up. Let's get into it.
The Emperor's light is my torch! Death to the enemy! We shall be the end of you! Feel the might of the righteous! For the Emperor!
Alright y'all, let's hop right into today's wrap-up, starting with a couple of announcements for reveals happening this week. First up is the Warhammer Skulls Festival of Video Games. This announcement showcase is going to be on May 22nd over on Twitch at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're unfamiliar with what Warhammer Skulls is, it's basically the big video game reveal for Warhammer for the year. I don't believe there are any big new games coming, but there are updates coming for some of your favorites like Space Marine 2 and Total War Warhammer 3. There's also going to be some updates for Rogue Trader as well as Darktide. This is your chance to hear from the developers and GW and see where your favorite games are going for the rest of the year. Now, the other announcement that's happening this week also kind of took the place of Heresy Thursday. But Warhammer, the Horus Heresy game system, is having their big drop site preview on Friday, May 23rd. This is going to be happening at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and will also be taking place on their Twitch. Now, this is where they're going to be hopefully revealing all of the new Heresy stuff that's been leaked over the past couple of weeks. Now, they didn't go as far in the article to say that it was a brand new addition, but that's what everybody thinks it is. I'm just glad that both of my boys, the Salamanders and Iron Warriors, are finally getting some shine. At least, supposedly. But make sure you all mark your calendars so you don't miss either of these important previews. Next up, we have a trailer for a brand new animation coming. This new animation is called Kill Lupercal, and it follows a Titan Legio as they try to end the Horus Heresy themselves by taking out the leader of the rebels, Horus Lupercal. And if you haven't already seen the trailer, make sure you go over to the Warhammer YouTube page and watch it there. I know some people were somewhat disappointed with Broken Lance, the night animation that came out for Games Workshop not too long ago. But I have to say the cinematography and the animation in Kill Lupercal is definitely better than in Broken Lance. And if there's one thing I've always wanted to see animated, it's the huge titanic battles of the God Machines. There's no specific date on when Kill Lupercal will be released, but they did say in the article that we wouldn't have to wait long. Make sure you're checking the Warhammer community page for when this might drop. Lastly, before we get to our Saturday pre-orders, let's talk about some books that were revealed. Every so often, Games Workshop and the Black Library will drop 3 to 4 new books that are coming for the year. Now, this isn't to say that they're the only ones, but they are giving us a sneak peek into some of their releases. This week, we got to look at 4 different products coming from Black Library that you might want to be aware of. First up, and the one going up for pre-order this Saturday, is the great work by Belisarius called the Limited Edition. It comes in a beautiful stylized hardback with gold leafing and will be signed by Guy Haley himself. What they haven't said is how many of these limited editions there are going to be, so when they go up for pre-order this Saturday, make sure you're in position to get yours. And just to clarify, the great work is not a new book, but it is one of the most important when it comes to understanding the era Indomitus. It's also just a fantastic Belisarius Cull novel. Next on the list is a reprinting of William King's Space Wolf trilogy. This 3-book set will include the novels Space Wolf, Ragnar's Claw, and Grey Hunter. All 3 will come in hardback in yellow cloth covers with screen-printed Fenrisian art on both sides. These are like the original Space Wolf books, the ones that have set the tone and lore for the 6th Legion. And honestly, it feels like just another hint that Leman Russ is probably the Primarch that's coming back next. Second to last on this list is the 3rd Carcharodon novel by Robbie McNiven coming out soon. It's called Void Exile and will follow the 3rd company of the Carcharodons as they defend a Forge world from one of the disciples of Vashdor. It's also getting a very similar color to the special editions of Outer Dark and Red Tithe. It's also going to be released in limited edition first before you get the regular hard and paperback versions. Last up is something I've been looking forward to for a long time, but we're finally getting more hints at the last book in the Dawn of Fire series. This was announced not too long ago, but it's going to be called The Silent King and will follow what's going on in the Pariah Nexus during the Indomitus Crusade. In this article, they showed us the limited edition that is the same as all the other Dawn of Fire limited editions. A heraldic faux leather cover that has a symbol specifically for that book right on the front. Now, I don't know if this means they're just releasing the limited edition first, but they haven't done that with any of the other Dawn of Fire releases, so I'm hoping they follow that same trend here. There's a lot to be reading in the future, so make sure you clear your TBR for these books. Alright everybody, let's hop into the Saturday pre-orders before we head out today. And remember, this is what's going up for pre-order this coming Saturday. First up, and what I mentioned in the last section, is the limited edition of Belisarius Call: The Great Work by Guy Haley. But what I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for is the Space Wolf release. This box is coming with the 28 brand new models for the refreshed Space Wolf line, a limited edition codex supplemental, the transfer sheets, and the data cards. Now, character models like Logan Grimnar or Arjak Rockfist will not be in this box, but you will get a Wolfguard battle leader as well as a new Wolf Priest. This is bound to be one of the more popular releases for the year, especially with what's coming up in the pre-order lineup. And that is a brand new Crusade book, the Armageddon Crusade book, and the fourth in the series. This 128-page campaign book details how the Red Angel's Gate is pouring forth demonic hordes, and the Grey Knights and Space Wolves must stop them on Armageddon. I'm super excited for the lore of this because you have two rivals within the Imperium having to work together to fight against chaos. The Armageddon Crusade book will also be released in a limited collector's edition, and they'll be released at the same time. And to go along with your new models and your new books, Games Workshop is releasing some more terrain as well. This is called Battlezone Manufactorum and has 6 new pieces for you to customize your play area. The very last thing on today's list is a new audiobook that's being released. This book is called Valador by Guy Haley, and it's one of the first books we've gotten since the Fracture of Bealtan about Prince Iriel. In this novel, he's teaming up with his Bealtan allies as well as some from Komara in order to fight against High Fleet Kraken. All of this is an attempt to save Craftworld Iyanden, so we'll see if he has better luck than he did with his own Craftworld. And again, this will only be coming to audiobook, so make sure to check the Black Library site for when this comes out. But that's gonna about do it for today, my friends. Thank you guys always for watching. Make sure to leave any questions you might have in the comments below. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next one.